Duncan Alney here, reporting on behalf of Bulldog Reporter and Sally Falco at SES New York, Day 2, with Lee Odden from Top Rank Online Marketing. Welcome, Lee.
Yeah, thanks, Duncan, and I hope Sally feels better soon.
We wanted to talk to you about the relevance of blogs in different situations, and can you give us an example of the different ways blogs could be used on corporate sites?
Well, especially in the context of public relations and the need to make news portable and easily discovered, both by direct consumers of information for the company, as well as journalists and analysts and influential bloggers, we tend to recommend blog software as a CMS or content management system for newsrooms, so that you run into things like archiving press releases, newsletters, white papers, webinars, case studies, things like that. A lot of times on a newsroom, when they use the legacy content manager, they'll archive these things chronologically, and there's really not a lot of keyword value to that. So when you use a blog software as a content manager for an online newsroom, what's neat is you can archive things chronologically, but you can also do so categorically. And of course, you can use keywords in those categories. On top of that, you can enhance discovery through the use of tags, which also can be keyword rich. And on top of the web pages that are created in the newsroom, every time you make a new entry, there's the RSS feed. And making an RSS feed available for the entire newsroom is great, because you can submit both the blog and the RSS feed to independent blog and RSS directories and search engines, so that enhances discoverability. But you can also make RSS feeds available for each category. So for example, if you're a big company and you're publishing news in different vertical markets about different topics, some journalists or analysts may not cover everything. They may not want to know everything you have to say, and they only want to cover a particular segment. If you make those RSS feeds available at the category level, then that gives them the opportunity to just subscribe to that category. And that way, via RSS, that journalist is basically getting pitched, right? They're letting themselves get pitched via technology, and they're getting something they've opted into, and they can be updated nearly instantaneously whenever you publish anything. So there's also an SEO value to having that RSS feed, and of course blogs are link magnets. If there's useful information there, people will link to the blog, and it can actually show up in the search results at google.com. It can show up in the search results of blog search engines, and depending on the situation, it might even get trusted as a news source for maybe Google News or Yahoo News. That doesn't happen very often with blogs, not very often with newsrooms, but it could happen.
There's really many different advantages to getting into both the blog and feed verticals or areas to benefit your overall PR efforts.
Right. The model that we usually use to help people in the PR industry understand this intersection of public relations and SEO or search marketing, and blogs fold into this, is push and pull. So traditional media relations is more about pushing out messages. You research editorial calendars, or use a service like Cision or Vocus or somebody like that. You identify journalists, you push out broadcast emails, people do smile and dial pitching, you distribute press releases through wire services and that sort of thing. But then there's the pull, and the pull is about optimizing content so that journalists can pull themselves. Now imagine the difference between a journalist getting a deluge of press releases and trying to sort out the signal from the noise, compared to going to blog search, news search, or even a regular search engine, doing a query on a company or a category, and there's news items that come up, and they click through and they actually visit that, they pull themselves to it. The credibility there is pretty substantial. And we've actually done some research similar to what Bulldog did, but very specific to how journalists use search, and the vast majority reported using different types of search to do their jobs. So push and pull, you've got to use push still to push your message out for those folks in the media and analysts that still rely on that mechanism, but at the same time you want to optimize your content, and it could be a blog, to make it easy for those folks to find you through search.
So if you're in a tough news situation as an editor or a journalist, and you don't have time to contact the right people, you're going to go to the feed.
Exactly. You go to the feed, or you might do a search. Part of our survey also included the opportunity for these folks, the journalists we were surveying, to tell us stories. And we got numerous stories about deadline, last minute, they had to quick find that one person, and they would go to Twitter, or they'd go to a blog search, or they would go to another search engine or something, and were able to find one of those subject matter experts and actually get the story done. So it's ultimately about making it easy for them to do their job in covering the news, right? And if you can be useful, you can certainly develop a relationship, and that certainly bodes well for, media relations.
Excellent. We're here with Lee Odden from Top Rank Online Marketing at SES New York. Great information on using pull as opposed to push, and using blogs and feeds. Thank you so much, Lee.
Yeah, thanks. And we've got over 2,000 articles on these topics at toprankblog.com. I'd encourage people to check it out.
toprankblog.com.